I go by Daisy Chioma. So welcome to today's episode on PG with Daisy, and I'll be speaking on a topic that is my identity. So I, so it's something that has always been in my mind to do. Having a platform to talk to young girls. Growing up, I saw a lot of young girls, having pre-marital pregnancies, getting pregnant out of wedlock. And these are young girls just out of secondary school. Some have not even completed secondary school. And when they get pregnant, that's it. They give birth, they go, for some of them, they go and stay with the person who impregnated them and start living with them, and a life of suffering just starts. In my language, I'm Igbo. In my language, they'll say Abukure is Rike. They get pregnant, they meet this person, and they just rest there. And it's growing up seeing a lot of this, because I grew up in the village actually. Seeing a lot of this, it was a bother to me. I kept on wondering, how do young girls subject themselves to this kind of suffering? How? How do they subject themselves to this kind of suffering? So you find out that some of these young girls, they don't understand their identity, they don't know their identity, they don't know themselves, they don't know who they are. And a person who does not know who he or she is subject to just living life anyhow. Whatever comes by, you just take it, you know. And I really desired a platform where I could talk to young girls to help them understand who they are in Christ, their identity as a child of God. Because when you understand your identity as a child of God, you will act better, you will know better, you will behave better. We've not been brought to this world to just, as Bible says, be fruitful and multiplying does not just mean to fruitful and multiply with children. You can be fruitful and multiply with the works of your hands. You can be fruitful and multiply with the impact you make. So I will be talking about um, our identity in Christ. So when we say, what is the meaning of identity? Webster Dictionary says the distinguishing character or personality of a person. So another meaning says who someone is. Another meaning says sameness in all that constitutes the objective reality of a thing. The condition of being the same with something described or asserted. So when something is related to something, so how do you see yourself? How do you see yourself? Who do you say you are? Some of us, some persons grew up, and maybe that because of the situation you find yourself, or your surrounding, or maybe the circumstances of your birth, you associate yourself to that thing. There are people who were born through rape. Maybe their mother was raped and they were conceived, and you feel, oh, I'm worthless because I came through that means. Or some persons, while growing up, maybe you were molested and abused, and you feel, oh, I'm good for nothing because of this and this that has happened to me. Or some persons, while growing, you face a lot of failures, setbacks, and you feel, I am good for nothing works in my hand. Can you please pause and ask yourself, who am I really? There is an identity that is beyond what you know now. And when you understand that identity, my dear, you will soar. You will become better. So for you to move forward, or some persons, you are just faced with the physical things of life. You are just living life as it comes. You really don't even understand who you are. You're just living at it goes by. Oh, your friends say, "Ah, come, let us go and party." You go and party. Come, let's go and drink, let's smoke, and you do all those things. At the end of the day, ask yourself, are you happy? Are you really, really happy? Are you satisfied with the life you have? If you are not, then you must ask yourself, who am I? And I want to tell you something, that you have an identity that is beyond who you are. When we go back to the Bible, in the book of Genesis, it says, God made man in his own image and likeness. That is where our identity comes from. That is where our identity comes from. God made man in his own image and likeness. So if we have been made in the image and likeness of God, what is the circumstance that wants to redefine who you are? What is that circumstance that wants to redefine who you are? Because circumstances will come to want to redefine who you are. But when you understand that, no, I am in the image of God, I am in the likeness of God, that is where your life changes. That is where your life turns around. So I want you to understand that you are more than what has happened to you. You are more than the circumstance you have found yourself. Or maybe you've unfortunately fallen into teenage pregnancy and you feel, oh, what am I going to do? What's going to become of my life? Your turning point starts from understanding who you are. And I want to tell you, you are made in the image and in the likeness of God. And when you have that understanding, it changes you forever. Having the understanding of who you are, understanding that your identity is in Christ, it changes you. I will stop here today. I want to hear your comments. I want to hear your questions and your comments in the comment section. Thank you very much.